measuring stick just changed around here, buddy. You're looking at it.
And welcome to your late week edition of the Outsiders podcast. Clint Schweitzer and Noah Groniger here. And we always appreciate it if you go like the page, facebook.com/The Outsiders podcast. And, moving on, we're talking about, of course, Chiefs and Chargers doing the preview right now. This is a huge swing game for the Chiefs season because it got back on life support a week ago with a win at New Orleans. This is a chance to play for first place. And how in the world did we get here after those two horrible weeks, Falcons and then Bills, and we win at New Orleans, and here we are playing for first? How'd that happen?
Well, the Chargers and Broncos lost last week. The Raiders, we wish they would have lost, but they squeaked out a win against the Steelers. I don't see them being much of a threat, though, throughout the rest of the season, so that's not really a big deal. We need to focus on the Chargers and Broncos, and we play the Chargers this week. I think we can get a win. I don't think that they're that strong a team.
No, I agree. Their offensive line is really beat up and really kind of a patchwork right now. I think our pass rush, and correct me if I'm wrong here, our pass rush is the key to this game. Justin Houston, Tamba Hali, Derek Johnson. Hali doesn't even have a sack yet, but is it time to set Tamba Hali free? Is it time to really get after Rivers? Is that the way to win this football game?
It's definitely the way to win this game, but I just don't know if Tamba can do it. I mean, he's already faced a rookie left tackle against Buffalo. Cordy Glenn from Georgia. He'll be facing a rookie left tackle with San Diego. He couldn't do it against Buffalo. Let's hope he flips the switch and he can do it this week.
Yeah, I think it's time. We want to see Tamba Hali back to his former self because his pass rush is very key. He can take over a game by himself, and this could be one of those games. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers historically just have not really played very well at Arrowhead. Take you back to a year ago on Halloween. Phillip Rivers fumbles a snap just trying to run the clock out against Kansas City, wind up losing that game. Rivers, is a guy that is just a conundrum to me because I can't put him in, the elite group of quarterbacks. Do you agree with that? I mean, is Rivers a guy that just relies solely on his arm and his own talent? I mean, he's got some talent around him. Malcolm Floyd's his main receiver. Ryan Matthews in the running game, I think, is suspect right now. But what is it with Rivers with you? What do you see?
I see that he's trying to win the game by himself. He knows that the running game is really struggling ever since they let go of LaDainian Tomlinson, Darren Sproles, Michael Turner. Ryan Matthews just hasn't been the answer for them. Injuries, inconsistencies, the offensive line struggles, the receivers aren't that great, and Rivers just feels like he's got to win the game by himself, and when he does that, mistakes happen.
And we've seen that. And last year he was a very mistake-prone quarterback, threw a lot of interceptions. This year they're 2-1. Based solely off of wins over, of course, Oakland and Tennessee, two kind of subpar teams. In fact, it took a horrible long-snapping effort by the Raiders for the Chargers even to beat them. But, as far as for the Chiefs go, the key to this game to me on offense is two words. It's Jamal Charles. I mean, you can't rely on Matt Castle winning this game through the air. You'd like to, but at this point, we cannot. Jamal Charles, is he back? Is this a game that he takes over again and continues his great performances?
I slightly disagree with you there. A key is Jamal Charles, but I think the key is the offensive line. They've got to open those holes, and with Ryan Lilja starting at center, Jeff Allen starting at guard, I just don't know if they can get it done. I don't know if Ryan Lilja can step into a new position and play the way we need him to. We brought in Russ Hochstein, a guard from Denver. We brought in Brian Madison, a center from Minnesota. I even heard a rumor or something saying that Casey Wigman was brought in this week.
Wow.
They tried to look at him. I don't know if they brought him in just to kind of give some pointers to Ryan Lilja, saying they're having a workout when they just really want to kind of pick his brain and get Ryan Lilja some work with Casey Wigman. Because I've heard Casey's been underweight, maybe even like 250 pounds, so maybe it wasn't a real tryout.
Well, Casey, he gave us a lot of great years, and he's a guy that was kind of ageless. They signed those guys for depth, and I think that's all that's about. And we saw, I think we saw Ryan Lilja slide into that spot and Jeff Allen slide into the left guard spot against New Orleans. I think it was successful, and Ryan Lilja has been working at this position throughout the training camp. They did not have a true backup center. Lilja was a contingency plan anyway. So I think this could be actually maybe even a stronger offensive line lineup than we had with Lilja at left guard and Hudson at center. We'll see. But
I'm going to have to disagree with you again, Mr. Schweitzer. I liked Rodney Hudson at center. He's strong. He's physical. He can make all the calls. I do kind of like Jeff Allen playing guard instead of Lilja. He's undersized. He's more of a kind of offensive lineman that we would have needed in the 2003 days when we pitch out, do screens with Priest Holmes a lot. I just don't know.
Well, right now, prediction-wise, who wins this game? I'm torn. Right now, to me, it's a 50-50 toss-up game. But at Arrowhead Stadium, in a place the Chargers have struggled, I'm going to say Kansas City wins this game in a very close game, maybe similar to last year. Hopefully not needing some miracle with Rivers fumbling a snap, trying to kneel on a ball. But, I mean, who do you have winning this? Is this Kansas City going into first place?
I think it's definitely a 50-50 game. You got Matt Castle. Oh, boy, he really scares me out there.
Never mind, it's 30-70.
If Jamal Charles can get going, the offensive line performed well against a very good front seven with all those linebackers. They've got millions of them out there that can all rush, that can all play coverage. I mean, they're very good in the front seven. I really don't know. I'm going to take the Chiefs in a close game like you said. I'm going to have to agree with you. I think we can get it done. I don't really like their offense. I don't like their secondary other than Eric Weddle. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think we can win.
Well, let's hope so, because you're talking about Baltimore Ravens coming to town, a week after that. To me, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFL. If you're sitting at 1-3 and Baltimore's coming in, you could just pretty much close the casket, bring the Undertaker and Paul Bearer in, because you've erect a tombstone because the season's over.
Yeah, Baltimore next week. I mean, we'll get into that later, but wow. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Haloti Ngata. I mean, we're talking about Ryan Lilja and Jeff Allen playing at new positions. Well, Ryan Lilja in a new position. Jeff Allen is a rookie. He'll be playing his first time starting. I mean, taking on Haloti Ngata and Terrence Cody, Ray Lewis. I mean, that's going to be a huge challenge for them.
Not only that, but you're talking about a much improved offense and an underrated offense, because to me, Joe Flacco, unlike Phillip Rivers, is entering that elite category. And
he's on his way.
Torrey Smith, Ray Rice.
Ray Rice is the killer.
Anquan
He's the
Boldin.
one you got to look at.
They have an offense, too. This is a very well-rounded team. To me, this is, like I said, a top 2 or 3 team in the NFL.
Ray Rice, Ray Rice, Ray Rice, Ray Rice, Ray Rice. That is who we have to stop. If we can shut down Ray, make Joe get into predictable downs and distances, maybe we have a chance. But it all starts and ends with Ray Rice. The kid is maybe the best running back in the NFL. He can do it all, like a Marshall Faulk. I mean, the kid, sky's the limit for this guy. Hall of Famer potentially. We must stop him.
Hey, thanks, Noah. Thanks to y'all. We'll be dreaming that Ray Rice thing, the way you said it real weird all those times in a row. I'll be dreaming about that for the next 2 weeks, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
If it's not going to be him, I was going to be dreaming about Ray Lewis, and that's probably not good either. So, until then, of course, San Diego is coming up. We will see what happens. We will be back with you next week.
First place on the line.
Let's do it. Let's get a win. Go Chiefs.
Chiefs!